Well, welcome to Game 3 of this 1995 World Series replay. The Atlanta Braves are going to be visiting the Cleveland Indians. The series is tied at 1 as Atlanta came back with a win in Game 2 and won 7-5 after dropping the first one 3-2 in Atlanta. Let's get right into this one. No need to do a lot. If you want to recap those other games or watch them, pretty exciting stuff. Game 1. Atlanta had the bases loaded, down by 1 in the 9th inning, and Cleveland jumped out to a lead in Game 2. Then the Braves stormed back and then had to hold on at the end. So a couple of good games so far. This game was actually 7-6. This was a final in 11 innings. Carlos Baerga doubled home the winning run in the 11th inning off of Alejandro Pena. So we'll see if there's any fireworks in this game. Leading off for Atlanta is going to be Marquise Grissom, the center fielder. Getting his first start is going to be Luis Polonia in left field. He's a left-handed batter. He's in the 2-hole. Chipper Jones will be starting at third base. He's a switch hitter. Fred McGriff, the cleanup man, is at first. David Justice is in right field. He's batting 5th. Ryan Klesko is the DH in this game. He is hitting 6th. Javi Lopez is the catcher. He's hitting 7th. Mark Lemke, the limmer, is at second base, switch hitting second baseman. He's going to be hitting 8th. And Rafi Belliard is the shortstop. He's hitting in the 9-hole. Starting the game for the Braves is going to be Johnny Smoltz. Right-handed pitcher, can go 28 batters. Had a 3.3 FIP. He was 12-7 with a 3.19 ERA, 193 Ks. in 192 innings pitched. For the Indians, it's going to be Kenny Lofton leading off, playing center field. Omar Vizquel is the switch-hitting shortstop, batting second. Carlos Baerga, the aforementioned Baerga, is playing second. He's a switch hitter, hitting third. Albert Bell is in left field, the big right-handed swatter, and he'll be the cleanup man. Eddie Murray gets the start, but at DH in this game. Jim Thome at third base. And another flip-flop of Thome and Ramirez, as Thome hits 6th and Ramirez hits 7th. Paul Sorrento will get the start at first base in place of Eddie Murray, and Sandy Alomar Jr. gets the start at catcher. We are ready to go. We got Charles Nagy on the mound. Nagy, right-handed pitcher, 27 batters is his stamina, 413 is his FIP. He was 16-6 with a 4.55 ERA, just 139 Ks and 178 innings pitched. About average for the time, but maybe notable that his home runs per 9 are 1. So he gave up 20 home runs in 29 games started. All right, we're ready to get this one started. So let's go out to the game. Charles Nagy finishing up his pitches, and Marquise Grissom stands in. It'll be Grissom, Polonia, and Jones leading off the first for the Braves. The pitch from Nagy is in there, and Marquise Grissom swings through it for strikeout number 1 and out number 1. In this game, 3 is underway. Luis Polonia, 264 average. He got into 28 games in 1995, but he's got a home run chance here. That's going to be a double or a home run off of Charles Nagy. It's a 9. It's a home run if it's a 5 or greater. And Luis Polonia announcing his presence with authority as he takes a hack. And he's going to put the Braves up 1-0 with that poke over the center field wall. And Cleveland crowd stunned a little bit by Luis Polonia. All right, Chipper Jones stands in. A 35 is going to be a ground out. This one is hit hard, but right to Sorrento at first. And he's going to toss it to the pitcher covering. That's out number 2. 2 down in the inning. 1 in for the Braves on the Luis Polonia solo home run. And it'll be Freddie McGriff to the plate. A 46 is going to be a line drive out, and that is hit into left field as he goes the opposite direction. And nice play in left field by Albert Bell on a sinking liner. We'll go L7 on the putout. And the Braves are out of the first, but not before scoring a run off of Charles Nagy. They take a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Johnny Smoltz gets his first crack at this Indians lineup, and we'll see what happens here. He's going to start off Kenny Lofton with a strikeout. Lofton looking fastball, but he gets the breaking ball. And that's going to be out number 1. Always good to keep Lofton off the base. Omar Vizquel to the plate. Vizquel has a ground out, and that's going to go to the second baseman. Let's check for an error. No error on the play. And the limmer makes the play over to first base. Gets Vizquel by a couple of steps. And that's going to be out number 2. 2 quick ones for Johnny Smoltz. And he gets to the heart of the order by Gabel and Murray here. Let's see if he can get through them. This is going to be a walk. That'll be the first walk of the game for Smoltzy. And Baerga is on base with 2 outs. But he's on base ahead of Joey Bell. 45 is going to be a home run, so that's what we're looking for there. 22, though, that's a triple if it's an 8 or 9, and it is an 8 as he hits one down the line into right field. And he's going to slide in there with an RBI triple. So the 3-bagger for Bell. Bell not terrible speed, 4, as a little bit of a misplay in right field by David Justice, and Joey Bell is at third. 15 for Eddie Murray is going to be a ground ball that goes to the second baseman Lemke, and Lemke is going to get it over to first, and that will end the inning. But Cleveland ties it on an RBI triple from Albert Bell, and we are tied at 1 as we head to the top of the second inning. Nagy will face off against Justice, Klesko, and Lopez for the Bravos. 36 is going to be a walk. First walk of the game for Charles Nagy. And Dave Justice on board with nobody out. Ryan Klesko, 310 average, 23 homers, 70 RBIs in 1995. He's going to ground out. That's a little tapper to the catcher. Is there an error? No error on the play. And we're going to go ahead and they're going to try for 2, but they're not going to get it. So you get the old fielder's choice at second base. And that'll be a 2-6 fielder's choice, as they went for the double play but couldn't turn it. So runner at first base is Klesko now. He's got a speed of 4, not a threat to steal. Javi Lopez to the plate. A 66 is going to be a grounder. That goes to third base. That's going to be another fielder's choice as they try to turn it but aren't able to. And so we go 5-4 on that, and they keep getting that lead runner at second base. 2 down with 1 on, and it's Mark Lemke to the plate. Switch hitter. He's hitting left-handed against the righty Nagy. 22 is going to be trouble, as that is another triple. As he hits one off the wall, the left fielder, or the right fielder, can't corral that. Who is in right field? It's not Dave Justice. Ramirez. So Ramirez jumps feebly at the wall. The ball gets away. And that allows Mark Lemke to slide in safely to third base. And that's going to be an RBI triple for the limmer. That puts the Braves up 2-1. Funny bounces out there today. Rafael Belliard at 34. That's going to be a single with an error check. So that's a single into center field. No error on the plate. And that's going to be a run-scoring single for Rafael Belliard as he brings home Mark Lemke, and the Braves now have a 3-1 lead. Death by a million paper cuts here. Marquise Grissom to the plate, 1 on and 2 outs. Another 34. This is another single to center field. Another error check. No error on the play. And with 2 outs, the runner is going to take third base. And at least it's not a run-scoring single. But Marquise Grissom up the middle. And we got 2 on. Runners at the corners with 2 outs, and Luis Polonia to the plate. Polonia already with damage in this game with a solo homer. 23, though, is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. Ho! An error on Vizquel. Oh, my goodness. it is falling apart for the Indians here, as that's going to run or score the run from third. Ooh, goodness gracious. And it's now 4-1 Braves over the Indians. Chippewa Jones of 44 is going to be a two-bagger as he laces one. It's over the left fielder's head, and it hits up halfway off the wall. He's going to go into second base. That's going to score this run from second. And normally you get 2 there, but that's going to score the runner from first as well. So a 2 RBI double for Chipper Jones, who rips one into left field. And the Braves now have a 6-1 lead. Freddie McGriff, 25 is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to left field. We're going to have an error check. Possible error. The left fielder is Bell, and he's going to make another error. That's his 3rd error in 3 games. And that moves the runner over to second base. I'm going to be merciful. Normally that runner would have scored, I think. 25, another fly ball. This one out to center field. And finally, no error on the play. So 2 errors in the inning. And we get a fly out to center field. That is out number 3. So all this damage happening with 2 outs. They scored 5 runs. The Braves did, and they take a 6-1 lead in going into the bottom of the 2nd inning. Smoltz against Tommy, Ramirez, and Paul Sorrento. Tommy takes the walk. That'll be the 2nd walk of the game for Johnny Smoltz. Tommy stands at first. He's just a 4-speed, not really a threat to steal. 22, though, that's going to be trouble. Another triple. 3 triples in the game, if you can believe it. And it's not easy to do. That's going to be another RBI. As Manram with the 3-bagger into right center field. And that's going to bring up Paul Sorrento. 6-2 now our score. 36 is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to center field. No problem out there for Marquise Grissom as he squeezes it for out number 1. Manny Ramirez, just a 3 to score. They need base runners, and so we're just going to leave them at third. So 1 already in and 1 out. Runner at third base. Sandy Alomar looking to advance him. A 12 is going to be a ground out. That's a little grounder to shortstop just past the pitcher. The only play is going to be to first base. So we're going to go 6-3 on the putout. That's actually going to be an RBI ground out. We have a ground out with an error, or with an arrow. And the arrow means that all the runners advance. So it's a fielder's choice at first. And the only play is to first base. So that's going to be an RBI ground out. It's now... This guy comes in. So it's now 6-3 as Manny scores on the fielder's choice. So the Indians manufacturing some runs here. 2 down, nobody on for Kenny Lofton. A 35 is going to be a ground out. This goes to shortstop. No problem at short for Belliard as he gets his man at first. And the Indians come back with 2. It's now 6-3. And it's a score fest, and this one is nobody's put up a 0 yet. Go to the top of the 3rd. It's 6-3 Atlanta. It'll be Klesko, Lopez, and Lemke. Klesko is 0 for 1. And 11 is going to be a strikeout as he takes a big hack, a vicious cut, and comes up empty. Klesko down on strikes. There's 1 out in the inning. Brings up Javi Lopez. Lopez with a good game back in game 2. 46. This is a double play or a strikeout, so he's going to get Javi Lopez looking as he puts it on the black. Lopez didn't like the call. Hoping that he gets some of those on the other end, but he heads back to the dugout. It'll be the Limmer. He had an RBI triple in his first at-bat. 36 is a flyout, though. That goes out to center field, no problem for Kenny Lofton as he is under it and squeezes it, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Charles Nagy as he puts away the bottom of the Braves order. Let's see if Smoltz can navigate the middle of the order. It's Vizquel, Baerga, and Bell. He has a 6-3 lead in the bottom of the third. 35. That's going to be a strikeout. Smoltz blows him away with the gas, and that's going to be out number 1. Carlos Baerga with a walk and a run scored in his first at bat. This time, though, he's going to be down on strikes as perfectly placed fastball on the corner. He can't pull the trigger, and that's going to be out number 2. 3 strikeouts in the game for Johnny Smoltz. Smoltz 24% K percentage is pretty high, but he's going to leave a slide piece out over the plate, and Albert Bell, he is feasting. He's got a solo home run here as he rips one into left field. Crowd is going nuts. The score is now 6-4. Bell now 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs is going to bring up Eddie Murray. Murray with a ground ball in his first at bat. A 24 is going to be a strikeout as he gets caught looking with the slider. And he comes 1 out too late. Smoltz strikes out 3 in the inning, but he sandwiches a solo home run in there. It's now 6-4, Atlanta over Cleveland. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Charles Nagy is facing off against Belliard, and then back to the top with Grissom and Polonia. 44 to Belliard is going to be a walk as he puts the number 9 hitter on. Frustrated with himself there. That brings up Marquise Grissom. Grissom singled and scored in his last at bat. 46, though, that's going to be a fly ball. That goes out to left center field. Ranging over is Kenny Lofton. He calls off the left fielder, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. No advancement from the runner at first base. So Luis Polonia stands in. He's been on base twice. Solo home run, and then he got on via an error and then later scored. He's got 2 runs in the game. So good call by Bobby Cox, but this time he's going to fly out down the left field line as he pokes it, and coming in hard in left field is Albert Bell, who catches it on the run. That's going to be out number 2. Bell looks to second base, and no one advancing there. So we got a runner at first base with 2 outs. Chippewa Jones, he had an RBI double, a 2 RBI double in his last at bat. This time, though, he's going to strike out as he gets caught looking on a bender, and that's going to be out number 3. So the Braves don't score. They strand a runner at first base, and we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 6-4, Atlanta over Cleveland. Johnny Smoltz faces off against Tomei Ramirez and Sorrento. A 26 is going to be a base hit into left center field. This will be an error check on the left fielder. The left fielder is Luis Polonia. He's a minus, and so that's going to be a single plus a 1 base error on the left fielder. Whew. It's rough out there. All right. Man ram to the plate. He had an RBI triple in his first at bat. All he's got to do is hit a single or a double here, probably. 14, that's going to be a base knock. That goes into left center field. We're going to go station to station with Jim Tomei. Not very fast, and ahead of a guy who hit 25 bombs for the year. 847 OPS for Paul Sorrento. A 35, though, is going to be a ground out. That's a little tapper to the catcher. What are we going to do here? Let's say he looks everybody back and he makes the throw to first. That's a smart, wise play, right? So no advancement from the runner at third base. The runner at second is going to move up, or first is going to move to second. But we get the run, or the base runner at first. 1 down, Sandy Alomar Jr. to the plate. A 13 is going to be a ground out. That goes to the shortstop. Everybody's playing back. I wasn't playing the infield in, so we'll go 6-3 on the put out. And that means that the runner at second will hold. The runner at third is going to score on the fielder's choice. So the Braves trade and out for a run. Could have played the infield in there, would have prevented the run, but did not. And so that's going to be a 6-5 lead now for the Braves as the Indians are pecking away at this lead. Here's another ground out. This one goes to the shortstop. Going to go 6-3 on the put out. That's out number 3. The Braves navigate through the fourth, but they've yet to put up a 0 on these powerful Cleveland Indians. The score is now 6-5. Atlanta over Cleveland. And we have Nagy can go 27, so he's at 21. He's fine. And we got Freddie McGriff, Dave Justice, and Ryan Klesko coming up. A 16 is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to straightaway left field. Albert Bell, almost in his tracks, reaches up and grabs it for out number 1. Everything McGriff has hit has been to the opposite field in this one. Brings up Dave Justice. Justice 0 for 1. He's going to be 0 for 2 here as he grounds it out to Baerga at second base. No issues there at second, and Baerga gets his man at first, and that's going to be out number 2. Brings out Klinko. Klesko is 0 for 2, struck out in his last at-bat. He's going to strike out in his current at-bat as well as he swings through a breaking ball. Not a great day for Ryan Klesko. And a third straight inning with no runs. Charles Nagy settling in. That was a 1-2-3 inning. And we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Braves still with a 6-5 lead. 35 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. That's a strikeout from Smoltz as he gets Vizquel on the nasty slider. Carlos Baerga to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Struck out in his last at bat. He's going to strike out in this one too. That's going to be a strikeout looking. Smoltz with another K. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ks now for Johnny Smoltz. 193 and 192 and 2/3 innings. So about 1. What was that? 9 Ks per 9. So we are at Joey Bell. He's 2 for 2. He's got a home run and a triple. What else is he going to do today? A 46. That's going to be a fly ball. He hits it down the left field line into the corner. And coming over to make the play is Luis Polonia. That's first 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Smoltz. As he finally, in the 5th inning, puts up a 0 on this Indians ball club. The Indians tough, man. One of the best offenses most of us have ever seen. We head to the top of the 6th inning. We are getting close to Nagy's breaking point here. He can go one more inning, so we're really watching him here. And he's got a 33. It's a double or a home run if it's a 5 or greater on the D9. It's going to be a 2-bagger as this one is hit to the 0. This one is hit into left center field by Javi Lopez. And Lopez continues his good hitting. He's now 1 for 3. He's got a run scored. Got a runner in scoring position for Lemke. A 16 is going to be a fly out to deep right field, way into the corner. Manny gets there at the warning track, makes the catch on the run. But that's going to advance the runner to third base. So it's a fly out with a runner advance. So that's a deep fly ball. And that's going to advance the runner over to third. We got a runner at third with 1 out. Rafi Belliard to the plate. I'm tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do a little squeeze play, a little squeezy squeeze. So 1-3, he's going to be a strikeout victim. Else, it's a successful squeeze bunt. So we're going to call a safety squeeze here. So if he doesn't get it down, it's going to be a strikeout. Runner stays at third. 1-3, he's out. It's a 5, and the squeeze is successful. He gets the bunt down. Squeeze, which is a sacrifice hit. He's going to get an RBI there. And Bobby Cox rolling the dice. Now gives the Braves a 7-5 lead, just like game number 2. All right, so 2 outs. That should be an out. 2 down now. And Marquise Grissom to the plate. 25 is going to be a fly ball with an error check. That's out to center field. No problem for the center fielder, Lofton. Excellent glove man out there, and that is the second straight fly out to center field for Marquise Grissom. 3 down in the inning, but the Braves get 1 back on the squeeze play. It's now 7-5. Smoltz goes back out there for another inning. He can make it all the way through here with no problems. 28 is his stamina. 23 here on a ground out to the third baseman. And that's going to be an error on Chipper, as he can't handle the ball. And Eddie Murray is on at first base. So many errors in this game. Very uncharacteristic from both the game engine and the teams. This is going to be a ground out, a little tapper to short. The only play is going to be to first base. And the runner is going to move up on the fielder's choice, as Tomei is the first out of the inning. 1 down with a runner at second base. Man ram to the plate. Ramirez 2 for 2. He's got a triple and a single. He's going to have a fly out here off of Johnny Smoltz's card. That goes out to dead right field. Making the play in right is going to be Dave Justice. Justice with a good arm. Manny Ramirez says, Eddie Murray stays at second base. 2 down with a man at second. Base hit, scores a run. But this is going to be a fly ball to right center field. Error check on David Justice. And that's another error. E9. And that's going to allow... You know what? That run should score, just because that's what happens with 2 outs, right? He's running on the play, and he would score on that E9. I was a little bit merciful earlier. Shouldn't have been. But we get an error as the run comes home on the error. This is going to be a line drive out, and that goes to second base. So we go L4 on the put out. As Alomar hits it hard, but he hits it right to the second baseman Lemke, who makes a good play. The Indians get a run back. It's now 7-6. That was the final score of the game. It would just happen to be the other way. So we head to the top of the 7th inning. We are at 28 batters for Nagy, so I think we need to go ahead and get a new pitcher in for them. Who we got? We got Polonia, Jones, McGriff, Justice. Let's go with Austin Mocker. He's sort of our lefty specialist. He's a lefty. You can go 3 batters and a 3-2-1. That's going to end the day for Charles Nagy. Charles Nagy goes 6 innings. Gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits. It's 7 runs, but I don't know how many of those are earned. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll call it 5 earned, something like that. It'll be something like that. So 1, 2 walks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks. So that'll be his final line. He leaves the game down by 1. Paul Ostemacher comes in. He'll be facing off against Polonia, Jones, and McGriff. Polonia is 1 for 3. He had a solo homer back in the first inning. 12 is going to be a ground out. This little tapper to the second, or to the catcher. No problem there for Alomar, who makes a nice strong throw to first base. And that's going to be out number 1. Chipper Jones, he had an RBI double in his second at bat. Otherwise, he struck out and grounded out. 15 is going to be another base knock as he lifts one over the first baseman's head down the right field line. He's going to be at first base with one out. That brings up Freddie McGriff. McGriff, every out has been to left field. This time he finally takes a walk and stops hitting it to the left fielder Bell. That walk is going to put 2 on, and we only have one out. So Dave Justice to the plate. 253 average, 24 homers, 78 RBIs in 1995. But he's going to strike out here as he swings through a breaking pitch. Can't connect. And the Braves looking for a big hit to blow this one open. Let's see if Awesome Mocker can keep it close. Ryan Klesko. This is a ground out. That goes to shortstop. No problem for Omar Vizquel as he gets it over to first and gets his man. That is a 0 in the 7th inning, even though the Braves got 2 on with 1 out. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 7-6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7-6. And Johnny Smoltz still on the mound. We'll leave him out there for one more inning. He can go one more inning at full strength. So he's at 27 batters. If he goes out there under or at his stamina, then he remains at full strength. So we'll see what happens here. This is going to be a foul out, and that is a foul out to the shortstop. As a shortstop, Rafael Belliard runs over into... Wow, that's not it. Foul out 6. He runs over into foul territory on the left side and makes the catch over his shoulder. Nice play by Belliard. Brings up Omar Vizquel. He struck out in the last 2 appearances. He's going to line out here, and that'll be a line out to the shortstop. Or we'll go L7 on that. How about that? So he lines out to the left fielder, Klesko. Not Klesko. Who's in left? Polonia. Brings up Carlos Baerga. Baerga also twice a strikeout victim, but he's going to ground out here to first base. No problem there for McGriff, who waves off the pitcher, runs it to the bag himself, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Smoltz. Most likely his last inning, as the Braves have a 1-run lead going into the top of the 8th. We're going to replace Paul Ossenmacher. He's really just a 1-inning kind of guy. And let's see what we got here. We got bottom of the order. Let's go with Julian Tavares, I guess. Best option. Everybody had the day off, so everybody should be available. 3-4-2 is his FIP, and we have 1 inning for Paul Ossenmacher. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk and 1 K, and he was able to keep the game reasonable at a 7-6 deficit. So Javi Lopez comes up first. He's facing Julian Tavares. This will be a ground out to the second baseman. No problem for Baerga as he makes the play over to first base, and that's out number 1. Brings up Mark Lemke, switch hitter. He'll be hitting left-handed against Tavares. He's 1 for 3. He's got an RBI triple and a run scored and a couple of flyouts. He's going to add a 3rd flyout to his resume. This one down the right field line that Manny ranges back on, and he is going to make the catch near the line. And that's going to be 2 outs. Rafi Belliard to the plate. Belliard with a squeeze bunt. He's got 2 RBIs in this game. And this time he's going to ground out to the second baseman, Baerga. Baerga to his left. Grabs it, spins, throws to first. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Julian Tavares. Been pretty good relief pitching from the Indians staff. But they still find themselves down a run, 7-6, as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Albert Bell, Eddie Murray, and Jim Thome against whoever we bring in. Who are we going to bring in? I'm tempted to bring in Wohlers, but Instead, I'm going to bring in Greg McMichael. McMichael came in game 1. He is a righty and a 375 FIP. Smoltz, that's going to end his day at 7 innings. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 6 runs. I don't know how many were earned. So it looks like 1 unearned run. So 5 earned runs and 2 walks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ks. So a pretty good start for Smoltz. He leaves with the lead. He is the pitcher of record, and actually he's in line for the win. Greg McMichael, right-handed pitcher, 7-2 record, 2.79 ERA in 80 innings pitched. Couple saves. Not a save situation here for him. A 36 is going to be a base hit. That's a long single for Joey Bell, as he hits that one into left center field, and Bell is on first with nobody out. Brings up Eddie Murray. Murray, 323 average, 21 homers, 82 RBIs in 1995. This is going to be a single to left center field with an error check on the center fielder. No error on Grissom. So going station to station here. Back-to-back singles for the Indians. Maybe I should have brought Wohlers in. Oh. Jim Thome to the plate. Thome 1 for 2. A 46, that's going to be a fly ball out to left center field, as he's a little bit behind on it. Ranging over is the center fielder Grissom, and he's going to make the play for out number 1. All the runners will hold. Man ram to the plate. Manny is 2 for 3. A 36 is going to be a long single. He hits that one into the gap in right center field. That'll be a base hit for Manny. He's going to take a big turn but stay at first base. That's going to be an RBI single, and that will tie our ball game. The runner at first will go to third. The runner at second is going to go home. So even with less than 2 outs, a long single means everybody gets 1 extra base. So it's like simulating a hit into the gaps or down the line, where you have a chance to, everybody has a chance to take an extra base. All right, Paul Sorrento. So the lead is now gone. 7-7 is our score. A 66 is going to be a ground out. That's a little tapper to the catcher. We made this play before, so the runner's going to stay at third, and we go 2-3 on the putout. And that will advance the runner from first to second. So only 1 out available there, and Javi Lopez throws to first to get the out at first. Runners at second and third now with 2 outs. And Sandy Alomar Jr. to the plate. He's got a couple of RBI ground outs. This time he is going to ground out to the shortstop. We got an error check. No error on the play. And we're going to go to first for the third out. But Greg McMichael blows the lead. And we are now tied at 7. Cleveland has come all the way back in this one. And it is going to be the closer, Jose Mesa, come in for them. He's there to keep the game close, not give up any runs. 270 is his FIP. So 1 inning for Julian Tavares. Admirable inning for him. 1, 2, 3 went the Braves. So zeros across the board. And it'll be the top of the order for Atlanta, Grissom, Polonia, and Jones against Jose Mesa. Mesa with 46 saves. He's going to get a ground out here as he gets Marquise Grissom to ground out to the second baseman. That's a good play by Baerga. Strong throw to first, and he gets Grissom by a couple steps. Brings up Luis Polonia. Can Polonia be the hero? A 36. That's not going to do it as he flies out to right center field. Coming over is Manny Ramirez as he calls off the center fielder Lofton, and he'll make the play for out number 2. Chipper Jones, last chance here in the top of the 9th inning for the Bravos. Chipper 2 for 4. He had a single in his last at bat, and he's going to knock one right here as he pounds it through the right side into right field for a base knock. Freddie McGriff, an opportunity, 1 on 2 out for the Braves. A 26 is going to be a single with an error check, so a single to left center field. We're checking the error on Albert Bell, and he doesn't make an error this time. With 2 outs, Chipper's going to go to third, and Freddie McGriff finds himself at first base. That's his first knock of the game. He's 1 for 4. And Dave Justice, does he got a little hero in him? He puts on the cape. Dave Justice with the double into left center field as he rides that pitch all the way through the zone, hits it out off the wall in left field. And that's going to be a 2 RBI double as we get 2 there plus the 1 for 2 outs. And what a huge hit for the Braves as Dave Justice comes through with a little October magic, a double into left center field off of Jose Mesa, who was 1 out away from preserving the lead. It's now 9-7. A 25 is going to be a fly out to left center field. Error check on Joey Bell is no good. So that's going to be a fly out to left, and that is the 3rd out. But that's 1 out too late. Or 2 batters too late, I guess. So 2 runs come in for the Braves. They now have a 9-7 lead going into the bottom of the 9th inning. And you know it's going to be Wohlers time. So let's get Mark Wohlers into the game. Hopefully he doesn't face the same fate as Jose Mesa. Mesa goes 1 inning, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and no Ks. So at the moment, Jose Mesa is on the hook for the loss as they started the 9th inning tied with the Braves. The Indians need 2 to tie. They need 1 or 3 to take the lead and win the game. They'll be facing off against Mark Wohlers, though. Wohlers with a save in game number 2. Came in and blew away the Indians. Let's see what happens here. Greg McMichael, nice 1 inning hold there. That's 2, 3. Actually, he didn't hold. He blew it. 3 hits, 1 run. No walks and no Ks. He actually blew the lead there with the RBI single that he gave up to Manram. All right, so here we go. 3 outs to go for a Braves 2-1 lead in this one, as they look to return the favor of taking 1 on the road, but they got to get through the top of the order. It's going to be Lofton, Vizquel, and Baerga. Tough 1, 2, 3, although Lofton is 0 for 4 today. 14 is going to be a hit by pitch. Ooh, not good. To steal or not to steal, that is the question. The Indians need 2. I think that we just leave them there because we need a pop here. So Omar Vizquel to the plate. Vizquel is 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. A 14 is going to be a grounder to a little tapper to the catcher. Is there an error? There's no error on the play, so I like to take that lead runner at second base. And we're going to go 2-3 on the fielder's choice. So Omar Vizquel switches places with Kenny Lofton. Not a very good switch, as he's only a 5 speed. But a 45 here to Carlos Baerga is going to be a long single, as that pushes the runner to third base. And Baerga himself is not a 6, so he's going to take a big turn but come back to first base. Nice job by Carlos Baerga as he hits one past the second baseman into right center field. We have runners at the corners with only 1 out. And the man of the hour, Albert Bell, coming to the plate. He's 3 for 4. He's got a single, a triple, a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. And can he cap off this game with something big here in the ninth? I don't know. Mark Wohlers to the plate. This is going to be a fly ball. It's out into left center field. Ranging over is the left fielder. That's Polonia. He's going to make the out. The speed at third base is a 5, but we're not gonna do anything there, as we still have a home run hitter extraordinaire coming up in Eddie Murray. So we got 2 down, 2 on, bottom of the 9th inning. The Indians are down by 2. They have the Hall of Famer Eddie Murray coming to the plate. 323 average, 21 homers, 82 RBIs, 17 batting runs, which definitely puts him in sort of all-star territory. Yeah, this is it. Mark Wohlers, what you gonna do, buddy? Can Wohlers nail it down, or will the Indians take it home? A 34 is going to be super big trouble. Oh my gosh. But it's a strikeout. Look at that. A 7. So it's either a home run or a strikeout if it's a 5 or greater. Whew. Be still my beating heart. And so Eddie Murray takes a huge cut and comes up empty. Cleveland fans are frustrated. Eddie Murray can't believe that he missed it. Mark Wohlers pumps his fist. And the Braves are happy to escape this one. It's a 9-7 victory for the Bravos on the road, as they say turnabout is fair play, as they steal one on the road in Game 3. All right, let me go through and put up the totals and players of the game for this one. All right, back with the totals in this one. It's a 9-7 victory for Atlanta. Atlanta leads 2-1. And it's 9 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors for the Braves, uncharacteristic. For Cleveland, it's 7 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors. Albert Bell has an error in every game. Go figure that. We actually had an error on, who was it? Vizquel too, somewhere in here. E7, E6. So an error on Vizquel. That's a very rare error as well. The winning pitcher is going to be Greg McMichael, who comes in and blows the game. But he was the pitcher of record whenever they took the lead in the 9th inning. So 1 inning, 3 hits, 1 run. Smoltz goes 7, gives up 5 hits, 5 earned, 6 runs overall, 2 walks and 6 Ks. Charles Nagy, nice start, 6 innings, 6 hits. He did give up 7 runs, but only 5 were earned. 2 walks and 5 Ks for him. It's Jose Mesa who's going to take the big L in this one. He goes 1 inning, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs. The big blow, the 2-run double for David Justice. I'm going to give the player of the game to Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones was 3 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs and a couple singles. He also had a run scored. And so, Justice with the game winner. He was 1 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. And not too many other notables in here. RBI triple for Lemke. A couple of RBIs for Belliard. He was actually 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. And a solo home run for Luis Polonia, getting his first start of the series. Albert Bell, the big man on campus, he was 3 for 5. When it came time to produce, though, he had a fly ball that was short and not a run-scoring play, but he did hit 3 hits. He had 2 RBIs, a home run, a triple, a single. Eddie Murray came up short with the strikeout to end the game. 3 for 4 day for Manny Ramirez, a triple, a couple singles, 2 RBIs. So they had their chances. The Indians did. You can see they fought back all the way through after getting down 7-3 or 7-1. It's 7-1, 6-1. Sorry, I can do math. 6-1 overall in the early on in the second inning. So this is played with on-base baseball. It's now 2-1 an Atlanta lead. Let's see if the Braves can put their foot on the throat in Game 4, or will the Cleveland Indians come back? I don't know who the starters are for game 4. Not sure if they're going to bring back Maddox on short rest or if it will be like Steve Avery is the next guy up, which is a pretty good next guy up. So we'll see about how that goes, what Bobby Cox does. But game 4 will be coming soon. You can purchase On Base Baseball at clarkandaddisongaming.com. I'll put the link down in the description. You can just follow that and go right to the page with all of the On Base Baseball seasons. There are seasons from the 60s, actually from the 40s, all the way through to today. And 2023 is available for On Base Baseball. So everything, more recent is up and available for the game as well. There's some seasons in the 90s. I don't think I have anything in the 80s yet, but working on those. With seasons in the 70s, 60s, and the 40s. So a wide range. And then on top of that, you can go, if you go to the page that I share and then you go to page 2, at the bottom you do the pagination and go to page 2, you'll find the roster sheet sets. Now those are entire decades that are, the players are rated. You can see the ratings here for batting, defense, and speed. All of these stats and ratings for every player who got into a game in those seasons. You buy a decade at a time, so you can buy all of the 80s, all the 90s, all the aughts, the 2000s, the 2010s. You can purchase a whole decade, all the way back to the 1940s, a decade at a time, all rated for On-Base Baseball. And what you do is you take that spreadsheet. It's basically just a spreadsheet with all the players on it and their values. And then you would just transfer those values to the score sheet like here, like I've written down here. You just don't have the cards. So that's the only difference. You just transfer all of their data over here. You can use as played lineups or do your own, whatever you want to do. It's got the number of games played for every player, all these same stats and everything. And then you would use the decade game engine charts. This is for the 1940s. And so when you have a player who's a minus 14 batting runs, you would use this column here and you roll just like we normally would do. Instead of looking on the player cards, you look at the pitcher card first. So if it was Smoltz against Grissom, you would look at Smoltz's card first. He's a 330, so he's in this first column. So when you roll, you look, and if there's a blank, then you go over to the batter column like that. So I've got videos on how to play using the roster sheet sets. It's not difficult or really that much different because once you get them onto the score sheet here, then you're just kind of looking at their batting, their defense, their speed. You notice I do the defense just a little bit different in this one. There's really no need to know anything except for, is it a plus or a minus? So sometimes I just go through and do a plus or a minus. In previous games, I actually put the numbers. So you can see this is game 2, and I actually put their defensive numbers. You can see here. But there's no need to really do that. It's nice to know the information, but it's not necessarily for the gameplay unless you want to build something in that's a little bit more subtle defensively. So you have those. The base game just says if it's a plus defender, it's only an arrow and a 1. If it's a minus defender, it's an arrow and a 1 and 2. So, yeah, I think that's it. From here, we're going to head to game 4 after this. Maybe tomorrow I can do game 4, and we'll see how this series goes. Humming along pretty good. On Base Baseball is sort of a mix, of APBA and Strat. Kind of comes from the same roots. That's why it feels very familiar to those games. But it's got some, definitely kind of a blending of the two concepts together. So I only have 21 results instead of 36 like APBA has, but the results are right on the cards. The results are instructive to you, but it feels a little bit more like Stratomatic in that way. And we have the integration of the pitchers to the hitters, and the pitchers are really modifiers to the hitters' results cards. But we have 4 distinct classes, I guess, 4 distinct columns for each of the batters. 30 plus batting runs is like your perennial MVP types. 10 to 30, those are all stars to very good players. Minus 5 to 10 is sort of below average to average, a little bit above average. And then zero is technically average. And then less than minus 5 is going to be your poorer hitters. For the pitchers, it goes best hitter or best pitchers over here. This is their FIP or Sierra range. So 0 to 3.50. It's basically rated on an ERA scale. So if you consider ERA, 3.50 and less is really good. So that's going to be your top line pitchers. Here's your secondary pitchers. These are kind of your average pitchers, especially modern day. Some seasons, this is your average. You can see here. The fewer modifications are there. That's sort of where you can see where the average line is. And then these are going to be pretty poor pitchers for that day and age. Some of the seasons, like this is 1940, right? So 1940, your average pitchers are going to be somewhere in here, 3.5 to 4.25 in their FIP. And these are still going to be your excellent pitchers. So you can kind of look at things and figure things out along the way. I give you lots of stats to sort of sift through and look at, and some of them are advanced stats, some of them are just regular counting stats, traditional stats, what you would say. And then you have the ability to print out all the cards if you buy a season set. If you buy the roster card or the roster sheet sets, you have all the players, same information. It's just in a spreadsheet form. It's a little bit different form. But you get a lot more players, but you don't get the cards. So if you're looking for the cards, you're going to have to buy a season set. When you purchase a season set, you also get the roster sheets for that season. So that's a good part. So if you prefer to play with the roster sheets, or you want to be able to move back and forth between them, you want the cards, but you also want the roster sheets, purchasing a season set is the way to go. Yeah. On-base baseball is one of my favorite games. It's the first game I created, and I still go back to it, and it's a ton of fun because it just moves quickly. It's easy to consume. It's easy to play if you wanted to teach someone the game, but have kind of a full play game and not some quick play roller. This is a good one for you. The seasons are reasonable. $20 gets you everybody that played in that season. You get them carded. Really, I wanted to give this game away and only charge for the convenience of me creating the cards. So that's sort of where I've been with this game. So my goal is not to make $1 million with this game. If you wanted to take the DIY kit and create your own thing, or do the Japanese leagues or Korean leagues or whatever you want to do, women's baseball league, you could do that. You could take the game engine charts and all the things that I've done and get those statistics, create your own cards or whatever you wanted to do, and you can make your own game. But if you want to play with these seasons that are pre-formatted cards, and you get the roster sheets and all that kind of stuff, that's what I'm really charging for, is my time to create those cards, as opposed to keeping the game from you. I'm not trying to keep the game from anybody. All right, well, a little bit of philosophy for me. Go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and you'll learn a lot more. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's a super easy way to support this channel, what I'm doing with Clark and Addison Gaming. And consider purchasing a game. It doesn't always require very much. Quick play baseball is I think it's $10, and you get multiple seasons in there, and gives you a ton of baseball to play in a very small package, and for not very much money. All of my games are PDF, so if that's a question of yours, I don't do printed sets. I haven't found an option that's really good for that. 900 plus players or 1500 players just isn't feasible when you do like a print and play sort of option, or a what do they call it? I'm blanking on it right now, but basically I put it out there and I'll print on demand. So I like the print on demand options. I haven't found a real good solution. It's going to cost you 150, 160 bucks to do that, which is pretty expensive. So I don't know. I haven't found a real good option, and my wife and I are not really going to fill our garage full of pre-printed things that I have to go out and sell. That's just not my thing. So that's other people. That's the way they give you card sets at 60 bucks a pop or whatever it is they do a pre-printing, and then maybe I've looked into the possibility of doing a Kickstarter or Indiegogo. So maybe that's a possibility where you could pay up front and then we do a print run. But that, again, requires a lot of legwork, and I have a full-time job, and I have a family full-time. So this is definitely things I do on the side, and I'm happy to do it. I love to do it. I love that the community is embracing what I do, but maybe a little bit more non-traditional, just because this is not a business of mine per se, but still more in the hobby vein. So we'll keep it that way. If it ever turns, maybe I get an influx of cash that allows me to do something. Not really sure, but until then, it's going to be PDF, and hopefully the community, especially the younger parts of the community, who are a little bit more okay, I think, with the PDF options. We'll be able to embrace the game. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.